Yo, so we back in here for another edition of Nigga News, and I'm gonna probably roll this until I'll figure out what I'm gonna name it, this title of this episode, because this isn't gonna be the news, because for some reason when I do the news and post it on YouTube, you motherfuckers don't watch it. So I have been relegated to reposting news segments on my Instagram page. You got right here, it says Tax Stone is to be charged with an additional, I think they said 3 years on his already 35-year sentence for possession of firearm by a felon, and I guess discharging it in a crowded building where Troy Ave's bodyguard was shot and killed. And I like Tax Stone, but this nigga, I guess he figured he got 35 years. What the fuck is 3 more, right? I don't know. That's a nigga that's hell-bent on living in prison, and for a nigga that like pussy, I don't understand it. But then we got right here, Christian Keys, All the King's Men is being discontinued on Paramount Plus, and I guess the drama between him and Tyler Perry is persisting, because he went on to say that Tyler Perry has 17 shows, he just wants one in credit, which is in his contract. This is the same nigga that alluded to somebody trying to touch his man bussy up there at Tyler Perry Studios. It probably was Tyler Perry, right? He already got jammed up for trying to get some Caucasian bussy, right? So you know what? I watched a couple episodes of that shit. That shit was a trash ass TV show. They need to really stop making TV shows as melancholy and melodramatic for women. All these fucking stylized soap operas like Power. Like, if you don't like soap operas but you like Power or All the King's Men, or I guess whatever 50 Cent produces, you are in denial. And I ain't talking about the goddamn river in Egypt. And then we got right here, I was gonna do this as a news segment, but I don't have the fucking time, so this is gonna be on the show. It says rapper Offset has reportedly been shot while at Florida. Subsequently, since then, they was trying to say that Lil Tjay shot him in the leg because of a bet. He probably did. I did an episode last year where that nigga was on a live stream saying that Offset was broke, and the nigga actually borrowed 15 bands from him and didn't pay it back. Yeah, that's what the Percocets to do. Not only that, that's the same nigga that Cardi B was talking about is broke. Cardi B was talking about this nigga that had no money. I'm not surprised if he don't. What I will say is, Takeoff got shot a few years ago. I don't know if he trying to be the second Migo to get smoked, but he need to slow it up. Since then, subsequently, like I said, TJ representative, I think it was his lawyer, said that he didn't shoot him. He's not involved. He wasn't locked up, which I call bullshit. But I digress, because Lil TJ has stated that he don't snitch. So he probably not, he upholding the street code and not telling on, you know what I'm saying, what the fuck happened. But Vegas is actually, like, I'm not gonna say harmless, because the Bloods and Pimps are still there, but it's not like Atlanta. It's not uber dangerous, right? Unless you like in the streets like a pimp or a gangbanger or a drug dealer, for the most part you'll be safe in Las Vegas. If you ain't a podcaster, I did an episode about a podcaster that got smoked on strip because he was antagonizing another YouTuber, and a nigga caught him in the area and shot him and his girlfriend, killed both of them. But other than that, like, I don't think it was some random shit. I don't think it was gang members that ran up on Offset. I think it was that nigga Lil TJ. He owed him that bread, and bro was like, nah, you gotta pay that shit. He probably got into some slick shit. Offset's a Georgia nigga, so he probably was talking that country slick shit, talking about I ain't gonna pay you shit, fuck nigga, and da 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 da. And one thing led to another, and he got shot. And it was a leg shot, so whoever shot him wasn't trying to kill him. That wasn't the intended like intention. He was actually trying to send a message, and the only nigga that I could think that would try to send a message is a nigga you owe money to. If the nigga you owe money to shoot you in the leg, yeah, he pretty much stated the message like, yo, cool out, pay that bread back, or it's gonna be the other leg. I don't know, I wasn't there. I'm just keeping it 100. And see what else premium nigga news I could talk about. Oh yes, Boosie. Let me play this, then I'll come back with commentary.
First person suck my was a crackhead. If you from the hood, the first person who really suck your is a crackhead. When you like 12, crackhead suck your. You tell your uncles one on give you a little piece of crack. But crackheads back then, they ain't look like, they wouldn't toe up. They had fine crackheads, for real. My first head come from a crackhead. Me and my partners, our first head come from a crackhead. Yeah, if you a real street nigga, you know about this. Like, if you a real street nigga, most time your first head come from a crackhead.
And for you niggas that sell crack or sold crack or retired crack sellers, all y'all niggas got your dick sucked by a crackhead before.
And she wasn't a crackhead, she was a smoker. It's a difference.
Now in that video, Boosie, I like Boosie, so I'm not going to bash him too hard. What I will say is, as the days go by, this nigga talking about the first person that sucked your dick if you grew up in the hood and using the streets was a crackhead, and I call bullshit. This nigga sound like he's smoking rocks, because I grew up in the hood. I wouldn't classify myself as a real street nigga. I mean, I sold weed and pills and robbed a couple niggas, but you know, I didn't do that shit to take a title. In the words of Tupac, I ain't never did a crime I ain't have to do. I hate when niggas say that shit anyways. If you a real street nigga, like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, niggas act like you gotta go to jail and have a jacket to be a street nigga. Niggas act like you gotta know other street niggas at a high alarming rate or be known virtually in every hood to be a street nigga. A street nigga is nothing more than a hoodlum, a common crook, a thief, a gangster, a gang member, a gang banger, which are not the same things. A thug, a nigga that'll steal some shit that ain't nailed down, a nigga that sell anything including Tylenol. That's a street nigga. If you known for doing dirt in the streets, I don't give a fuck what it is, how small it is, or how big it is. You're a street nigga. There's a lot of people, now that I'm 43, I told you when I was in my 20s, I sold 50 slabs of crack cocaine. There's a lot of niggas that I know around the way. Now that I'm 43, I tell you when I was in my 20s and even 30s, I sold weed and pills, had Vicodins on deck and Valiums. So I hate when people say that shit. If you a real street nigga, you know, if you a nigga that did something that's illegal and people know you from doing that illegal shit, you a street nigga. You don't have to go. And I really hate when niggas say if you ain't been to jail, you ain't know, nigga. If you ain't been to jail, to mean you was good with crimes. In the words of Jadakiss, all max, but ain't good with max, but I'm good with nines. 25. What do you say? Not all that with max, but I'm good with nines. Not all that with max, but I'm good with nines. Something about he didn't have a felon, which no, he said take a 9 to blow off your melon. No, damn, what the fuck did he say? God damn, am I getting that old? Not all that with max, but I'm good with nines. Something about no felons, but I'm good with crimes. Something about no felonies. What you think I'm saving? No felonies. What you think I'm telling y'all? What you think I saved it for? To blow a nigga melon off? Like, nigga, just cause you like don't got a jacket don't mean you ain't a street nigga. But that's not the topic. I'm getting off task. What I'm saying is that you don't have to be a nigga that's formidable in the streets criminally to be a street nigga. All you have to do, and the prerequisite, is a nigga that did some dirt and ain't get caught while you did it, and people know you from doing that shit, right? The best criminal niggas is actually niggas that nobody knows what they do. There's a lot of niggas that you probably have rubbed shoulders with, never knew that nigga did dirt, but he did and kept his fucking mouth closed. You dumb niggas. In the words of that one nigga that was in that movie in Layer Cake with David Craig, he said, avoid big, loud, attention-seeking people like the fucking plague, right? And people that run their mouth, talk about the shit they did, draw attention to their criminal activities, you want to avoid them. This is a nigga that nobody knows what he do. He doing dirt and getting away with it. That's the real street nigga. Also, a nigga that got his dick sucked by a crackhead was a nigga that couldn't get bitches. I sold drugs. I sat in dope houses with my cousin selling crack. I never got my dick sucked by, and that wasn't a crackhead, that was a smoker. That's the pre-game before she turned into a crackhead. That's the beginning of it. That's the inception of crackism, the ism of smoking crack. She eventually turns like kind of, fucked up looking, teeth missing, shit like that. Now, if you got your dick sucked by something like that, you was hard up. You couldn't get no bitches. I'm gonna put that out there because that's the real. But this nigga really got to stay off the internet saying stupid foolishness. Like, people could gone, like, in the words of, I forgot who the fuck said it, Batman and the CIA couldn't have waterboarded that shit out of me. I'm taking that shit to the grave. But this is premium nigga news, and this is the ignorant shit that niggas say, so I figure I'd talk about it. Because here at F-ya-Motha, we don't leave people out, right? I've been bashing the white people for racist stupidity that they spew on the internet. And I'm going to talk about ignorant niggas like Boosie that get on the internet and say dumb shit, right? Stuff they could have took to the grave. There's just certain things, like, the internet has made people too comfortable with disclosing shit that they should have taken to the grave. There are several things in my lifetime that I'm taking to the grave. Man, mind you, didn't point out that none of it is homosexual shit, tranny shit, or messing with kids shit. You'll never, there's no wreck on me about none of that shit. I don't play about that. But there are things that I've done that I'll just take to the grave. It ain't that important. I don't want the world to know every fucking detail of my life. Getting your dick sucked by a crackhead, any woman that messed with Boosie from then on should be making that nigga take a herpes or a STD test, right? Me personally, I didn't even let every regular bitch suck my dick, let alone a crackhead. Like, what are we doing here? Like, and the fact that he said every street nigga. I know a lot of, like, certified street niggas, like niggas that did harder crimes than myself, and them niggas never got their dick sucked by a crackhead. It wasn't that deep. They had money, they got bitches, and fine ones too, that didn't smoke crack. But I guess with these young niggas, he's trying to make them feel comfortable, because now every chick that I see on Twitter that's selling pussy or doing porn is a dope fiend, right? She's taking perks and drinking lean and probably doing mollies and sniffing cocaine. In about 10-15 years, she's gonna be a dope head. That's how that plays out. Getting older is actually realizing that every bitch that you saw in porn was a junkie. In any event, if y'all like this episode, you know what to do, and I'm out.